Are you ready for a good chat? Go on and tune in to the Go On Then podcast. It's your place to go with your host, David GSA Wrestling, and co-host, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
And welcome back to episode 7 of the Go On Then podcast with your host, David GSA Wrestling.
And me, Ryan Iconic Shadows.
And today's podcast is going to be a bit more lighter than the last one. It's going to be a bit more fun. We're talking about childhood stories from mine and Ryan's past. So if you're not up for that, that's up to you guys. We're doing it as a bit of a chill out, talking about some of our past achievements or past stories. I'll start with the one that's probably the most funniest. When I was a kid, I played for my school rugby team. And we won 3 trophies in 1 year, right? We won the North West Counties, we won my hometown, and we won like the National Cup as well. So but like the National Cup, we had to play at the Millennium Stadium in Wales. You know, the big massive stadium. It was over rugby league weekend, so like, you know, when it's a big event. We went and did that, and it was fun. We went and listened to it, had a laugh. But like, it's amazing when you go, because like, to explain it, it's when you go as a fan, it's cool. But when you go and stand on a pitch that like players who have played on, like, that you know are like legends in your own heart, to actually stand on that pitch and feel the grass and shit is a different standard. It's like going to Wembley and touching the grass of Wembley and knowing like Raheem Sterling's touched the grass. Do you know what I mean? It's like that kind of feeling as a kid. So we went to this game. I'll tell you about the coach trip down, because that was funny. We get on a coach down, you know, to obviously the Millennium Stadium. But the week before, we have to go and do a picture signing with Chris Joint, who's like Saints' big like rugby player. And he's like, you know when you're like a fan and you're like, holy shit, that's Chris Joint. You know what I mean? So I'm like, holy shit, that's Chris Joint. And like, I'm like a kid, I'm like, yeah. And it's like, do what we couldn't do, boys, win the final. Because they obviously got knocked out at the semi-finals. So we're on the way down, and we get stuck in this like, I think it was a Hilton hotel, basically. So it was posh. Obviously we was at a final, so obviously they bring us breakfast in the morning. What do you think was in the breakfast tray?
Toast.
Croissants and fucking jam. Croissants and jam.
No,
I'm a prop forward. I ain't eating no croissants, and I'm not eating no fucking jam. I don't like jam, and I'm not going to eat dry bread with nothing on it. So we found out there was an Easy. You remember Easy Cook? I don't think they're around now. You remember the Easy Cooks or Little Cook? The restaurants. Yeah. We went to one of them. We got bacon, sausage, egg bams. Right. The bad thing is, we was playing that day. So, like, we ate all this food and then had to go and play like a fucking 20-minute each side fucking game. But we're all bloated because of it. So we played the game. We beat them 20-6. And then we had to walk around the pitch at halftime with like these little banners. But obviously at that point, the game that we're watching is Leeds Rhinos versus Bradford Bulls. But I think it was Leeds who knocked out, so we're like, Bradford! You know, giving it Bradford. Then we was getting on the coach home. My stepdad was like, yo, David's coming on our coach. So I got on the adult coach, and I had a few drinks and I was sat talking. It was cool. We travelled back. I then went on holiday the week after I came back. And you know when like it must have been mad, because obviously I was in Cardiff, right? It must have looked like I was famous because I was in Cardiff like the week before, and then I was at a holiday camp the week after, and they put me on a brochure for a fucking cafe. Because like there's a cafe like that we used to always go to, you know, when we was in Wales, and like they did like breakfast and stuff, you know, like when we were sleeping in camps and stuff. So we always went there because it was like over a little bridge, and it used to be like a nice little cafe. So we went in there, and she's like, "Oh, do you mind if we use your kids for like, you know, the brochures?" right? So there's me in somewhere in Wales. There would have been a brochure of me, my younger sister, and my younger brother on this fucking brochure. The same week, I've just been at the Millennium Stadium, and probably in the news. So in Wales, I must have been famous for like 2 weeks. Like you can't make it up. Like when you're doing like, it was like because like the thing is, there was like you remember them shitty little arcades when you was a kid in Wales.
Oh, right.
There was a shit little arcade, but the guy used to stand up like the teddies properly, so you could get a hook on him and grab him. Honestly, we must have walked away with like 30, 40 teddy bears out of these grabbing pissing machines because the guy kept standing them up perfectly. We used to just move them up. You like how they might be like hard to win. Like every time we put like 10, 20p in, we was getting a fucking teddy. So like we went home with this bag of teddies, and we must have spent like £4, if that, buying these pissing teddies. And there was a shit ton. Like he made no money off this fucking this arcade must have gone bust afterwards, because like we must have grabbed about £50 worth of teddies and spent about £4.
Maybe.
It was crazy. What else did we do? I had a cracking story the other day. Have you got a story about your childhood?
This one, it'd be funny to me because it happened to me, and I weren't a fan of needles and still aren't really, but I'm not quite as bad with them. When I was quite young, I think it was a blood test. I was going for a blood test in Sheffield. I believe it was Sheffield. Could be wrong, but wherever it was, regardless. Did you ever watch, or do you know of Dick and Dom?
Yeah.
Basically, Dick from Dick and Dom was there. I think it was like just visiting, trying to cheer kids up or whatever. And my mum was like, "Oh, Dick from Dick and Dom was here." And I must have been that out of it from the blood test, sort of like...
Daisy.
Or, yeah, I must have, like, just not recognised him or just not believed my mum. I was just like, what?
Oh, mate, I've got a cracking story. I've met... You remember, Dermot?
Dermot
on TV. TV, yeah. Dermot fucking did the X Factor.
Yeah.
I met him.
Oh, right.
I went to the X Factor audition. Ryan doesn't know this. Ryan thinks I'm taking the piss. I went to the audition when I was like 20, 21, when I thought I could sing. When I don't know, I don't sound too bad now, but like back then I was an arrogant fucking prick. That I've actually wrote my own song, so you never know.
Cool.
I might release it at some point. I've got like another one I'm working on, but like one's near enough done. I just want to get like a ghostwriter to check over it. And then I'm obviously gonna have to sing it, then get someone to produce it, then probably get a backing singer, and then fucking it's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's probably gonna cost about 60, 70 quid for bang it out. Just this one song, and then I've got to advertise it on Spotify. Yeah, so I did that. I did the like the audition's weird, by the way. It's not what you see on TV at all. Right, I'm gonna ruin some people's lives. If you don't want to know this, turn the fuck off, because like it will ruin your X Factor. Like saying that X Factor's finished, Anna, it doesn't matter. It's probably the same for Britain's Got Talent. Basically, there's one room for groups, and that's groups only, and they get speed blitz through. They're done in like half a day, right? I shit you not, like the groups go through like that, like it's dead easy. I shit you not, if you're a solo singer, you're there all fucking day. Like from like crack of dawn at morning through to crack of dawn at night, right?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm glad it never got out, because you know that fucking bus that drives to X Factor?
Oh, right, yeah.
And there's usually people on it. I was on that fucking bus. I'm glad it never got heard. They filmed me on the pissing bus, and I was like, even if I don't get on X Factor, I'm on the fucking bus. From X Factor.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm glad it never got... They never picked that edit, and I'm thankful they never, because like, there was me, I think there was another lad, and there was another girl. Well, anyway, we all got chatting on this bus because we was on this for like 20 minutes recording this fucking scene. Like where they're going, oh, and you have to have a nice conversation with each other. Oh, are you nervous about today? Oh, yes, we are. Oh, you know what I mean? Like we have to go, oh my god, we're here at the X Factor auditions. Like you have to proper fucking fake it, right? It's really bad. It's like watching WWE. You know when you go to a WWE live tape and like, oh my god, they fucking prompt you. Like you have like lines and shit you have to say to each other on this fucking bus, right? So we do this voice promo shit, right? We get off the bus, and then we're at the back of the fucking queue. The only benefit is, I shit you not, right? Do you know when there's a guy? Do you know the guy who danced with Cheryl Cole?
Oh, right.
He was there, right? I shit. You know how you know someone's been there before? He came with a fucking hamper with wine. We're all getting pissed. Because he had like a full hamper with sandwiches and fucking... It was awesome, right? So we get stuck with this old guy, this young guy, and them two birds. And obviously me. And we're all obviously going in back to back and like... We're all talking and then we're adding... Because like what we did... Obviously there's no toilet breaks. So you don't want to fuck off and then lose your spot. So like we was all holding it for each other. You're like, oh, well I'm going to go for a piss. Then you can go for a piss. Then so like, you know, you plan it because you're there all fucking day. Like it's a fucking all day event. So like we end up talking to this old guy. This old guy's like, yeah, I just come for the fun. I got for dance with Cheryl Cole last time. I'm like, you know when you're all on like, this is before like internet was properly used like this. We're all like that trying to get our fucking 2G to work, like looking him up. Right, so we got to that, and then obviously I ended up adding the bird for the two girls on Facebook because I think they was sisters or some shit. So we ended up talking to them. But it was coming in as solo artist. We ended up talking to them. Then I'm talking to this guy. It was a good day. It was a really good day. Like it was a really good day. Like I can't complain. I spent like 20 quid probably getting there and back, you know, for do this audition. The only downside is like if you got through, you had to come back the day after. Like if you know
So
if
you
you
hope you
got
don't go through.
no, but like I don't want to go through, but at the same time I'm like I've got to then come back again tomorrow and go through all this fucking rigmarole again. But basically, if you get a gold card, you get passed through. If you don't, like. I started with Robbie Williams. No, I started with played. Was it? You know, the summer of '69. Played until my fingers bled. That was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from start singing that right, and then I shit out halfway through. For some reason, my balls just. You know, your fucking balls just don't like out foot, right? So I fuck it up, and then. I'm like, shit. Can I go to my backup song? At that point, I knew I was fucked. Because, like, I had a nervous bastard breakdown. Trying to sing this song. Right? So then I went to, Blue. One Love.
Yeah.
One love for the mother's pride. One love for the times we cried. One love. Gotta stay alive. So I'm banging that out. And, like, he stops me. No, I get to end the song. But like I see, there was some woman like I got no. Obviously, I got no, or I would have been an X Factor. And I probably would have been making shit tons of money, or I would have been in Disney's house and then making shit tons of money. Right, so fucking I do that. But I shit, there was a woman like what when you're moving across because you move chairs, you move like in like fucking seating order through. This woman must have been like an opera singer, mate. Honestly, fucking, you could have heard her next door. If there was two buildings outside of each other, you probably would have heard her in the third fucking building. She was that loud. Like, the whole room went fucking silent and started clapping for some reason. The whole room was talking next, but everybody stopped and started clapping. It's the maddest fucking thing ever. So I get no. I think the two girls got no. And the old man got no as well. And then I think the young lad got through. I can't remember. Someone got through. But I don't think he got through to the main stage because I can't remember seeing him on TV. Anyway, so fucking... We all come out and we're all chatting. Then I get home and Mum's like, did you get through? I was like, no. But I said it was fun. Told her about what went on. Fuck it. And then I ended up doing a fucking karaoke contest called the Zoo Factor. Just for the ironically. I ended up going doing... Basically what happens is you had to sing at a certain point, right? To explain what goes on, you go into a nightclub, and nightclubs obviously back then, like I was really going into nightclubs most of the night. You go in at a certain night, and there'd be a chance to get into, like the version of the X Factor, but it'd be called the Zoo Factor, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't get through. I did like 2 to 3 weeks back to back. You know, tried to get in, didn't get in. And then I sung. Basically, I got on with one of the DJs really well. Oh, you know, like one of this, you know, thingies. Anyway, this guy wanted to do a duo, but none of his friends wanted to do it because he was a really good singer. And then, like, I'm like, and he goes, so at the minute, there's a moment in time I don't know shit about it. And then he's going, it was, do you know, have you ever take that? The Flood.
Oh yeah.
That, you know how fucking bad that song is to sing. Right? I don't know until I get shouted up by the karaoke guy. Right? And he's with 5 or 6 people. I'm on my well, I'm not on my own, but I'm with like girls. So it's not like if they go for me, the girls aren't gonna get involved. So like basically on my fucking own, I'm like, he's like, all I can hear like he's going standing at the edge of forever at the start, like, you know, banging it out, and I'm like, fuck, shit, fuck, and then all I hear, right, is, oh, he better be good, this kid, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna hit this first note like a fucking steam train and bang it on, and then it's that, oh, no one understood. Right, I'm fucking, I hit, I don't know how I did it. I must have squeezed my asshole sort of like that. It just hit that perfect note. I was like, bangs it straight out. And I'm like, oh my god, he's really good. Well in. I was like, thank fuck, I don't want to die. And then they give me the wild card. Because obviously, you know, all like the spots have been booked in. He gave me a wild card, so that meant I had to show up on the night and sing. So I got like a wild card for going. Like, they had like 2 wild cards, you know, that they had put through. So they did the wild card. I did Elvis Presley, Suspicious Minds. I say it went well because like there was a couple dancing and enjoying themselves. I thought, fuck it, it wins. So that was my X Factor tied into Zoo Factor, all in like the space of like 2 months. It was good though. So, have you got any singing stories that embarrass yourself? Ryan seems like the cat. I know Ryan quite well. He doesn't seem the singing type.
Well, when you say that, used to go to a jam night when it was in town. So at one point, I actually built the confidence to actually sing myself.
Oh, what did you sing?
I think it was Tribute. You know, Tenacious D.
Oh yeah. This is the greatest song of all. Yeah, the fucking devil.
I actually got into it quite a bit. I did the whole thing with the guitarist while he was doing it. It was actually quite enjoyable, but I think they've moved it somewhere else now. Though they're not in the same place where it was easier for me to go to.
I'll tell you what, I've got another story, but it's more when I got older. I went to a pub, like, probably about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and we was at a karaoke bar, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to show myself a song. And I think I was singing, I can't remember what the fuck I was singing, but my mate kept fucking pushing me at this bird, right? And fucking, so I went for do like a sidekick, you know, when you sidekick him, right? I shit you not, this woman would not leave me alone rest at night because she kept calling me Peter fucking K. You know, because the way I went for kicking was like Peter K. Honestly, the whole fucking night she wouldn't leave me alone, kept calling me Peter Pissing K. I was like, thank fuck, you know, when we get out of that pub, I was like, thank fuck I've got away from her. She will not leave me the fuck alone. But yeah, it was good, like. I think I ended up, I think it was, I tell you what it was either Suspicious Minds that I banged out, or it could have been Robbie Williams' Angels. Because like they're my 2 like they're the 2 songs like I usually aim for, because I can sing them really well, you know what I mean? But yeah, I've done, do you remember I Would Walk 500 Miles?
Yeah.
I've done that before now. I think I've sung fucking, I don't want to admit I've sung this, but I think I've sung Breaking Free from High School Musical at one point.
I like that.
I think I was singing it with my auntie. I can't remember. And then I've sung Teletubbies. Right, there's a running joke with the Teletubbies, right? If I explain this, it sounds like I'm being a kid, but it's not. It's a running joke. Basically, when I used to work for the youth fair, the joke was that the theme song for the youth fair was Teletubbies. And someone always had to sing Teletubbies. Yeah, oh, you know, do the whole Teletubbies. But you have to like a rap behind it as well. You know, when there's breaks, yeah, but you know, give it a rap. Me and my mate, in the ironic fucking state we did, decided to sing it in an old folk song.
Oh god.
Yeah, it didn't go off well. The Angel, I did the Angels at my nan's, and do you know what the baddest thing is? Like, it doesn't like. I'm one of those that I've been on stages. I've played at like big stadiums. I've played at like thing. Yeah, you'll never. It doesn't matter how big a crowd is. When you've got an intimate crowd, like 30, 40, 50 people, and they all start waving the fucking lighters at the sky, it's a different fucking sensation. Like, I started singing Robbie Williams' Angels, and all of a sudden was these lighters moving side to side. So you look up, because I look down, like, usually I'm looking at the screen, because, like, I don't want to fucking, because, like, sometimes you, like, skip a lyric, or, you know what I mean, so I don't want to fuck it. I looked around for, like, when it's, like, when you have that break, and it just has a break for, like, a couple of seconds, before you bam back into it. I looked around and seen all these fucking lighters going side to side. I was like, shit. But yeah, I've done that. The worst one was, I used to be in a brass band, just to drop in how much of a geek I am. I used to be in a brass band back in the day. And I learned really late on in life. How most people start really young. Like, you start probably about 4, 5, 6, if I start learning. I was about 10, 13, not between 10 and 13, when I started learning how to play a brass band instrument. Right, so basically I was facing people that were 20 years ahead of me. It felt like I'm playing Gale of the Troubadour, basically, Dirty Dancing.
Oh, right.
I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to you. That one. Is that a
Yeah.
Dirty Dancing song? I think that's a Dirty Dancing song. Anyway, it didn't come up, and by the way, they didn't say dirty bit halfway through. Dirty bit. Fucking. So I ended up playing that, but I ended up fucking it and going to the wrong song. So I'm like, when I started playing like a different song, and I was like, oh shit, because I've been practicing for another song. So I dropped, like, I did like a drop sheet. I did from a C to a D, but like tried to drop it like a, wait, like when you go like in fucking, Christ, what the fuck's it called? When you improvise on
Yeah,
the spot.
improvisation. Sort of
Yeah,
thing.
like I scaled down to into the next song. Like, how I got a C minus, the guy must have been feeling sorry for me. Because, like, I should have got like a fucking E because I feel like fuck. Right? I got a C minus, and he said just keep going and listen to the music. The funny thing is, I decided to do the same fucking song for my school concert that was on for 2 nights. Right? The night we're recording, I fuck the fucking song up.
Jesus.
I did the same thing I did at my concert. When I did the fucking concert cast. I started on the wrong fucking piece of music, realised halfway, like 2, 3 notes in, and then dropped down into the song. Yeah, that was mad. I'll tell you what was the worst one though. You remember Walking in the Air?
Vaguely.
I am walking in the air, the fucking Christmas
Yeah.
song, right? The brass band was like, my mate back then was an opera singer, so he had like, mate, he could hit notes that was physically impossible for a guy. It was like someone grabbed your when you say like, yeah, squeeze your balls, get that note in. Like, someone squeezed his balls and chucked them up to his throat, because that's the only way you could hit these fucking notes, right? So fucking, he does this. We're all like, do 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 do. Right, so we're playing the backing beat. Right, the night of the fucking record, every time it's on, it never happens on the preview or like because what our teacher used to fuck up? She used to put the record in the first night, hoping everybody be bang on because it's the first night. But like, if you put it on the second night, we never fucked it. The first night we always fucked it, right? So we're recording this fucking video, and like, Adam's like, do 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 do. When it's like, I'm walking in the air, right? He hits that so high, like everybody fucking stopped in the band. There's just me going do 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 do. Like, because everybody else has fucking stopped, so it's just me playing 1, 2, 3 fucking notes. Because like, I'm on like the bass, so the bass only plays so many notes. So I'm like do 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 Tom's in the front because Tom's orchestrating it, right? Tom hasn't got a fucking. Tom's like trying to get them all back in position. Nobody knows where they are. I'm then trying to point out to people where they fucking are. I then lose where the fuck I am, so I end up just sitting there holding my instrument, going shit, pretending I'm playing because like at that point, fucking I don't know where I'm up to. Everybody else starts playing, and I'm fucked because that pointed out to where I was. It was fucking horrendous. Oh, it was so bad. Yeah, there'll be two stories. It's playing like in an orchestra and playing like a thing. Yeah. Have you got any stories?
It's not really a story as such, but it's something that I used to. I think I probably mentioned it before because you knew me a long ago, so you might vaguely remember it. But I used to be in a wheelchair, so one of the things that used to happen was because I was in a wheelchair for years because I had this thing called like Purphy's disease where like your hip bones crumbling away. So I've got like screws in there. That's how I'm able to do most of the things I do now.
Yeah.
So like, it's funny seeing like some of the people that had to like push me around in wheelchair and stuff, and then when I could eventually do some of the things that other people could normally do, like I felt like I could appreciate normal things a bit more, and you had the. How to put it? Like, it didn't really bother me all that much, as much as some people might have bothered them. Like, I still just got on with stuff, like, and yeah, like, might have a separate episode at some point to talk more about it, but it was quite interesting sort of situation.
It's funny you got in a wheelchair for a disease and I broke my fucking leg being drunk. Like, the only reason I broke my leg is because I was pissed. And you broke it, you like fucked yourself up because of like something medically fucking problem. I never got right. I played rugby for years. Never got a fucking injury once. I get drunk one night and I fucked my leg up. Do you know what I mean? It was crazy.
Bloody hell.
I can't remember. Right, the thing is, I can't remember much of the night. All I remember is it was New Year's Eve. I started drinking at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And then fucking Johnny, I wanted to go to town, but like nobody's going out because everybody'd gone to Manchester or fucking Newcastle. I think it was Manchester for Newcastle. They'd rented a room, in Manchester. Didn't know John. Yeah. John, who was one of my mates, had actually not gone. So I messaged John and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I was meant to be going," and the boys fucked off because and I've been at work. I was like, "Oh shit." Well, I said, like, if you're not going to town, I'll meet you in town. Worst idea I ever made. Like, I should have stopped well and truly before that. I was like, I'll be alright. I went to town, was fine when I first went out. Like, perfectly fine. And then I fucking went into one, like, it was more like a grind bar. I wouldn't call it a pub. It was like a grind bar, it was somewhere that was fucking like underground. And I went in there. John's like, "Oh, do you fancy a green shit?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll have a green shit." Didn't know what the fuck was in it. Worst idea I ever had. Like, can't remember. Like, I can remember drinking it. Can remember what happened afterwards, but what I found out later on, it had vodka in it. So, obviously, I drink this fucking drink. We go into the next pub, and at this point, Johnny's like, "Oh, you never pull when you're out." I was like, "Fuck it." I was like, "I'll show you how to pull." I went for talk to these two girls, found out these lesbians. Do you know you've not got a flying fucking chance? I was like, "I've not got a fucking Scooby-Doo," right? So then I'm like, I played off like I was, "Oh, like, yeah, don't worry about it, I'll just buy you a drink, what do you fancy?" Because I had to play it cool then. And then I don't remember fuck all. Like, I don't remember shit. All I remember is, I don't even remember getting in my house. All I remember was waking up in bed with no pants on the day after. Don't remember fuck all. Right? But if you know me, I sleep with PJs all the time. Like, I sleep in full PJs. So I wake up with no pants on and just my t-shirt from the night before. Right? So then my brain, I'm like, I've pulled last night and don't remember it. Or I've brought the lesbian couple home and not remembered it. And I'm looking round in my house, like, is someone in my house? Am I not in my house? And the dog's looking at me like, will you please let me out for a piss? Because, like, it's fucking 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I went to stand up and put my foot on the floor. And I was in, you know when you get a sharp pain in your foot? I get a sharp pain in my foot. And I got, fuck that, jumped back up on the bed. And I fucking shattered my ankle. Don't know how, remember, I don't know how I did it. Don't know what the fuck happened. Fully shattered my ankle.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it's fucked. It's fully fucked. I'm trying to think what else. Is there anything else you've done medically that's fucked yourself over?
I was pacing about, I ended up banging my head on a wardrobe.
I've not done that. I've done, oh, fuck me, what was it? I've done the thing where you, what the fuck's it called? Not where you bang it. I've done, I've broke my nose when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's a short story. My dad's a prick. Basically, my dad decided in his infinite wisdom to take me out on my bike. But it had no brakes, and there's a bridge that you come down, and there's like a crossway, you know, where you have to stop and go through it like a shimmy. I came down a fucking hill, couldn't brake, my wheel hit the front of the fucking thing and put my nose straight into the bar.
Jesus Christ.
It's fucked.
Sounds
Quite literally fucked, right? So then I've got my nose is fucked. But then, like, rather than my dad being a caring parent, my dad then makes me get back on my bike, crying, and my nose is pissing blood, and ride my bike all the way home. Why I've got blood pissing on my nose. Right?
Oh. What a guy.
Yeah, I get it home. This is going to go under neglectful fathers. I get home. My nose is fucked. I'm still pissing blood, by the way. My bike used to be green, it's now red. In pints. Yeah, it's fucked. I went to the hospital. They wanted to stitch my nose. I was like, nah, you can butterfly stitch it. But they said if they can't make it stop bleeding, they was going to fucking stitch it. That's how bad it was. And yeah, it took me fucking... for months and years afterwards, I had a nosebleed. For no apparent reason. Like,
I used to, talk about nosebleeds, I used to shove tissue up my nose till I got sick of nosebleeds, so my dad had to get, like, pliers out to get it out.
oh, mate, do you know what the bad thing is? Like, fucking, obviously, it's not, the thing is, it's fucked because, like, obviously, I'm trying to think what the fuck I was, like, that, like, now that'd be fucking wrong. Like, if you did that nowadays, you'd get fucked for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, back in days, it was different. When we was kids, it was different. It was fucking fully different. But, yeah, I feel like lots of medical things has changed since... We was going to do a segment on growing up anyway, so we'll have to do that at some point. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else I want to add to the segment. Did I tell you about the rugby... did I tell you about the first game at for Gustins?
What's that?
Right, first game. So basically what happens is, I used to play for a team called Blackbrook Royals. Basically, when we went to Augustins, nobody knew anybody. So what they did is, and obviously the teachers don't know how you play. The first game we had was a National Cup game. Was our the first game as a team, before we did like a couple of training sessions, was straight within that against the national team. But because he didn't know how good we was as players, you all get to play that game. It's like there's unlimited rotations, so you can rotate, as many players out as you want. Both teams decided, because we was all meant to be new players. I shit you not, this guy comes on. I'm 5 foot, probably fucking 5'6", 5'7". No, I'm not. But now I'm 5'8". Sorry, I was probably about fucking 4 foot back then. Like I was tiny. Like this brute comes on. He looked like year 9 to 11. When like he was really tall, built like a shithouse, right? For some reason, he spots me and walks over and gets in my face. I was like, You little man. He probably didn't do it in that voice. I don't know why I've given him that fucking voice. He's like, "What you play?" I'm like, "I play prop, mate." He's like, "No, I'm a prop forward. You look like a second rower." I'm like, "Mate, I'm a prop." He's like, "I will squash you." It's like Ivan fucking Drago. "I will squash you. I will destroy you." So I don't know why I've gone with Ivan Drago. I feel like that was just for put suspension on the guy's fucking finger. So like, he's like, I was like, "Well, see, bitch, because I'm gonna put you on your ass." He was like, "Nah, I'm going to kill you." I was like, "All right, okay." So like, the first half, I'm don't play. Second half, I get put on. Right, I get put on. I swear to God, this cat, as I got put on, this kid's eyes lit the fuck up. Right,
Yeah.
he went to one of his teammates, went, "Throw me the ball, I'm gonna squash him." And in my infinite brain, I was like, "I'm going to fucking die. I'm going to end up like a little bug on his feet." Right. So like at this point, I'm shitting. Like, you know when you say I'm shitting a brick, I was physically and utterly shitting a brick. He comes running at me, not like fucking briskly. I mean sprinting at full pace. Now you've got two. Right, you did play rugby. You've got two ways to deal with it. You bury your feet in and hope you can lift him, or you let him plough over you. You've got two options. That's it. You can't run away because that just makes you like a bitch. So like, there's two ways. You either get ploughed over, or you dig your feet in and pray for a miracle. I thought, I'm digging my feet in and I'm praying for a fucking miracle. He comes in. I was like, you know when a fucking steam train hits like a tunnel. Boom, right? He hits me at that much fucking force. I felt my leg nearly snap. But I managed to hold him up. It took 3 of us to put him in touch.
Jesus.
Me and 2 fucking wingers just lifted him up and put him into touch. Right? You've never heard a guy get up and rage so much in your life. He's saying it should have been a tackle. He's giving it everything, and like, I'm just like, "Shut the fuck, bitch! You just got put on your ass." And he didn't like it because like at this point he wanted to prove he's the big man, right? And Gaskell's like Lee Gaskell, who plays for Bradford Bulls. Shout out to Lee Gaskell if you listen to this. Shout out, bro. I don't know if you play for Bradford Bulls. I know you did. He goes to me, "You got a good run in, your kid." And I'm like, "Oh, I've got a good run in, man." I see this bitch. I'm like, I'm gonna repay the favour because that fucking hurt. But I'm not gonna admit it hurt, right? When you're running at someone, you've got 2 ways of hitting them. You've got the way of just running straight in and hoping that you can outpower him, or you can bury your fucking shoulder into him and win the pricks. I went shoulder first straight into him, straight on force on shouldering, right? I shit you not, he hit the ground so bad like a sack of potatoes. Like I fully dropped him, right? So then fucking obviously at that point, we get about halfway, you know, from like, it was like 10, 20 yards out, something after that. We got to what, 30, 50, 60, 50, in between 50 and 60 yards. And I got hit in the neck, like fully clobbered in the neck. And there was about 4 or 5 shots that come in. I thought, I'm going to take the fucking neck shot, because it gives us a set of 6. So I take this neck shot and drop to the floor, grabbing me fucking throat. It didn't hurt, I just wanted to prove a point. So he goes, high tackle, set of 6. And all you hear these kids go, "For fuck's sake." Right? So they move back 10 yards. And Gastel's like, "Got another run in you," so fuck I. Straight for the same guy, knocked him on his ass. It took 6 of them to hold me over the touchline, mate.
Bloody hell.
6 of them. Like fucking fully holding me over the touchline. It was amazing. Like back it was amazing, like. Have you got any good stories?
Not really. Not that crazy as yours.
Obviously we
I
was
tend to stay out of trouble, to be honest, mate.
Oh mate, I played rugby. I stayed out of trouble. I just played fucking. I played rugby for years. You know what I mean? What do you want me to do? like I played rugby. Like the thing is, you can't be a pussy when you play for rugby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Like sometimes you get injured, but you can't admit you're getting injured, because if you look, like, the thing is, if you admit you're getting injured, you're fucked. Like as soon as you say, "I can't play anymore, I'm done," like you're fucked. So like obviously, I never admitted I got injured. But there was nine times out of 10 I'd get fucked up round. But you can't admit that as a rugby player. You've got to be like, do you know what, it didn't even hurt? But it did. So, it's definitely not. The thing is that's the debate, with rugby union, rugby league, which is harder. I'd say they're both probably the same. But like rugby union, rugby league usually gets shit on for being like weaker. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm trying to think of any other kids stories before we finish the podcast. There was a tryout they had for the town team. I had a tryout for the town team and the rugby team, and my number was like 13. And all day, all he did was shout my fucking number out. Good hit 13. This kid got hit so hard, mate. He didn't know what day of week he was. He went crying to his mum. I didn't mean to. You know when you hit someone so hard, but you don't realise you've hit them so hard. I felt so bad. Like, I'm not. The thing is, I'm a gentle giant, mate, so I don't like hurting people. It was, oh, mate. And this kid go running for his mum, and I was like, oh, shit. You're like, oh, fuck. I fucked it, right? This kid starts crying. I'm like, oh, shit. I fucked up. Right. And it won't be a bad thing, but, like, when a kid starts crying, it's fucked. You know what I mean? So that happened. Yeah. But yeah, I had a cracking tryout for the team. Mate, I did a 90-meter run as a prop forward. A 90-meter fucking run. I went from one side of the pitch to the other side of the pitch, back to the same side of the pitch. It was crazy. What else to do? I've done quite. Do you know what? I've done so much, it's ridiculous. We could probably do 2 podcasts just on shit I've done, and that's probably not a lie. I've got some good stories, but I don't want to talk sex, so I'm not going to bring sex up. There are some good sex stories, though, I know. I know Ryan's got some good sex stories as well. He just don't like admitting it. No, I think that's me done for kids. Oh, do you remember your panto at school? This is one we could touch. Do you remember your panto at school?
All I remember from it is that it was still when my legs weren't too great. Well, my leg, not both. It was just the one. I was just most of the time we're playing tambourine. I think I didn't really do much of anything. Right.
Well, I'll give you an inkling to what I did when I was a kid. What was your fucking pantomime called? Can you remember?
I think it wasn't as such a pantomime. It was more just the nativity.
Mm-hmm.
It was just that, really.
Right. Well, I'll give you mine. Mine was. Do you remember Snow White?
Oh yeah.
Mine was a shit version of Snow White. Do you remember Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs?
Yeah.
It was called Snow White and the 7 Jockeys. And I was a fucking dwarf.
Oh God.
Yep, you can imagine my frustration. They made me a dwarf, right? And obviously it's a singing panto. And the song went as follows. This is how you know for a pod. You know when you know play Sky for Life. Oh, I've got another play, but it's funnier than this one. The song was, Mistletoe is right on track. Mistletoe, now the bookies pay yours back. Mistletoe is right on track. Mistletoe, now we get our money back. Roll, go, mistletoe, to the finish line, go. We are guaranteed to win because the mirror told us so. Something like that, right? I don't remember it whole, but it was the worst fucking song you've ever heard. I shit you not. I had dressed up as a fucking jockey. I had dressed up as a dwarf, and then I had dressed up as a rich midget. All in one fucking panto. I shit you not. And this one, did you ever go to church when you was at school?
Unfortunately.
Did you ever do the pantos at church? Or did you do pantos at your church?
No, not really.
Oh, mate, I shit you no. I did the panto at school. It was so bad. I was playing Postman fucking Pat. Do you know you don't want to say it? I was dressed up as Postman Pat. But the bad thing is, we had to get out of a fucking post box, a fucking parcel. I fucking tripped getting out the parcel. and fell down 2 flights of fucking church stairs.
Jesus Christ.
I came in like a wrecking ball. Fucking straight down, right? Everybody starts laughing. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. There's another story my mum tells me, but like I don't remember it, but my mum does. She said, you was the lad that would shout, all I could hear was your voice outside the church. Shouting, little donkey. It'd be like, little donkey. Right? Fucking, my mum said I could hear you outside the pissing church. I was like, oh, fuck off, mum. Yeah. Did you ever find any embarrassing pictures of you when you was a kid?
No, I remember this one picture where I'm in like a tux with my hair spiked up and I was really short hair, and everyone always mentions it. I was like, oh, thanks for bringing that up again.
Right, I'll give you another incline to what how evil my mum is. There's a nude picture of me with my wad house at like 43 years old on a piece of grass in Wales. Like I didn't know. The thing is, I didn't know about it. I was flicking through old pictures, doing like obviously the video I did for my mum for her, like a finger, and I found this pissing picture with no fucking pants on. I'm like, Tarbum, thanks a lot, asshole. But yeah, no, there's a lot of pictures. I feel like we've done quite a bit in this podcast. We banged that. The thing is, these are so easy because we just bounce off each other. I feel like these ones are a bit more like open, and you can get a dive into like the people we are. It's quite interesting but easy to record.
I think one story we might leave for the next one is the time we all met up, like properly.
Oh yes, we need to do that. That's going to be like a 20-30 minute podcast, cause maybe even longer, because that story is fucking legendary. Because like the thing is, like me and Ryan met through a video game, and it took us about give you an inkling. We might do it next. Actually, we could bang it out for the next one, literally after this.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan, basically, it was me, Ryan, Ed, who he lives with, and Paddy, and we've known each other for 10 years, something definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a while now.
Oh, I think I met you when it was like 2021. It was 2K. It was like 2K11, I think. So it would have been like 10 years ago. Because it's 2K22, so it's going to be like 10, 11 years ago. Fucking, we've known each other years, and it took us. Did we meet up like 4 years ago, or was it 5? It's been a while, because like I know me and Paddy's met up once since, and afterwards, like obviously he came for the wrestling, but we went to Manchester, and he didn't want to like travel up and down all day, did he? But yeah, it was good. We'll have to do it. We'll do it in the next podcast. But for give you an incline, it was a good day, and you'll enjoy it. So yeah, we'll do that in the next one. So I'll sign out now. Thank you very much for watching, and I've been your host, David GSA Wrestling.
Now I've been your host, Ryan Iconic Shadows. We hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next one.
See you in a bit.
Did you enjoy our little chat? If so, why not drop a like? And if you want to see more, why not hit the subscribe button?